de eso, donde siempre le fui y le soy agradecido al Barcelona por lo que hizo por mí en su momento, por todo lo que me dio, por cómo me trató a mí, a mi familia. Pero defiendo la camiseta del Barcelona porque lo siento así, porque de muy chiquito ya formaba parte de este club y la verdad dejo todo porque...
Messi was born on June 24, 1987 in Rosario, Santa Fe, the third of 4 children of Jorge Messi, a steel factory manager, and his wife Celia Cuccittini, who worked in a magnet manufacturing workshop. On his father's side, he is of Italian and Spanish descent, the great-grandson of immigrants from the north-central Adriatic Marche region of Italy, and on his mother's side, he has primarily Italian ancestry. Growing up in a tight-knit, football-loving family, Leo developed a passion for the sport from an early age, playing constantly with his older brothers, Rodrigo and Matias, and his cousins, Maximiliano and Emmanuel Biancachi, both of whom became professional footballers. At the age of 4 he joined local club Grandoli, where he was coached by his father, though his earliest influence as a player came from his maternal grandmother, Celia, who accompanied him to training and matches. He was greatly affected by her death, shortly before his 11th birthday. Since then, as a devout Roman Catholic, he has celebrated his goals by looking up and pointing to the sky in tribute to his grandmother. A lifelong supporter of Newell's Old Boys, Messi joined the Rosario club when he was 6 years old. During the 6 years he played for Newell's, he scored almost 500 goals as a member of the Machine of '87, the near-unbeatable youth side named for the year of their birth, and regularly entertained crowds by performing ball tricks during halftime of the first team's home games. However, his future as a professional player was threatened when, aged 10, he was diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency. As his father's health insurance covered only 2 years of growth hormone treatment, which cost at least $1,000 per month, Newell's agreed to contribute, but later reneged on their promise. He was scouted by Buenos Aires club River Plate, whose playmaker, Pablo Aimar, he idolized, but they declined to pay for his treatment. His goal-scoring idol growing up was Ronaldo, with Messi calling him the best forward I've ever seen. As the Messi family had relatives in Catalonia, they sought to arrange a trial with Barcelona in September 2000. First team director Charlie Reixach immediately wanted to sign him, but the board of directors hesitated. At the time it was highly unusual for European clubs to sign foreign players of such a young age. On 14th of December, an ultimatum was issued for Barcelona to prove their commitment, and Reixach, with no other paper at hand, offered a contract on a paper napkin. In February 2001, the family relocated to Barcelona, where they moved into an apartment near the club's stadium, Camp Nou. During his first year in Spain, Messi rarely played with the Infantiles due to a transfer conflict with Newell's. As a foreigner, he could only be fielded in friendlies in the Catalan League. Without football, he struggled to integrate into the team, already reserved by nature. He was so quiet that his teammates initially believed he was mute. At home, he suffered from homesickness after his mother moved back to Rosario with his brothers and little sister, Maria Sol, while he stayed in Barcelona with his father. After a year at Barcelona's youth academy, La Masia, Messi was finally enrolled in the Royal Spanish Football Federation, RFEF, in February 2002. Now playing in all competitions, he befriended his teammates, among whom were Cesc Fabregas and Gerard Piqué. After completing his growth hormone treatment aged 14, Messi became an integral part of the Baby Dream team, Barcelona's greatest ever youth side. During his first full season, 2002-03, he was top scorer with 36 goals in 30 games for the Cadetes A, who won an unprecedented treble of the league in both the Spanish and Catalan Cups. The Copa Catalunya final, a 4-1 victory over Espanyol, became known in club lore as the Partido de la Máscara, the final of the mask. A week after suffering a broken cheekbone during a league match, Messi was allowed to start the game on the condition that he wear a plastic protector. Soon hindered by the mask, he took it off and scored 2 goals in 10 minutes before his substitution. At the close of the season, he received an offer to join Arsenal, his first from a foreign club, but while Fabregas and Piqué soon left for England, he chose to remain in Barcelona. During the 2003-04 season, his fourth with Barcelona, Messi rapidly progressed through the club's ranks, debuting for 4 youth teams in a single campaign. After being named player of the tournament in 4 international pre-season competitions with the Juveniles B, he played only one official match with the team before being promoted to the Juveniles A, where he scored 18 goals in 11 league games. Messi was then one of several youth players called up to strengthen a depleted first team during the international break. French winger Ludovic Gilly explained how Messi caught the eye in a training session with Frank Rijkaard's first team: "He destroyed us all. They were kicking him all over the place to avoid being ridiculed by this kid, he just got up and kept on playing. He would dribble past 4 players and score a goal. Even the team's starting center backs were nervous. He was an alien." At 16 years, 4 months, and 23 days old, Messi made his first team debut when he came on in the 75th minute during a friendly against Jose Mourinho's Porto on November 16, 2003. His performance, creating 2 chances and a shot on goal, impressed the technical staff, and he subsequently began training daily with the club's reserve side, Barcelona B, as well as weekly with the first team. After his first training session with the senior squad, Barca's new star player, Ronaldinho, told his teammates that he believed the 16-year-old would become an even better player than himself. Ronaldinho soon befriended Messi, whom he called little brother, which greatly eased his transition into the first team.
I remember watching Messi training. Everybody was talking about him, the new kid, back then. He showed that he was going to have a great future. For me, it was a joy to have played with him and to see the history that he's making. I didn't teach him anything. He already knew it all. All I did was try to help him in any way that I could, and it wasn't just me. Everybody on the team, Puyol, Deco, everyone tried to help make sure that he was happy and did what he loved the most. He's a great friend, and I'm very happy that I assisted his first goal, which makes me part of the history of a historic player.
To gain further match experience, Messi joined Barcelona C in addition to the Juveniles A, playing his first game for the third team on 29th of November. He helped save them from the relegation zone of the Tercera División, scoring 5 goals in 10 games, including a hat-trick in 8 minutes during a Copa del Rey match while man-marked by Sevilla's Sergio Ramos. His progress was reflected in his first professional contract, signed on February 4, 2004, which lasted until 2012 and contained an initial buyout clause of €30 million. A month later, on 6th of March, he made his debut for Barcelona B in the Segunda División B, and his buyout clause automatically increased to €80 million. He played 5 games with the B team that season but did not score. Physically he was weaker than his opponents, who were often much older and taller, and in training he worked on increasing his muscle mass and overall strength in order to be able to shake off defenders. Towards the end of the season, he returned to both youth teams, helping the Juveniles B win the league. He finished the campaign having scored for 4 of his 5 teams with a total of 36 goals in all official competitions. During the 2004-05 season, Messi was a guaranteed starter for the B team, playing 17 games throughout the campaign and scoring on 6 occasions. Since his debut the previous November, he had not been called up to the first team again, but in October 2004, the senior players asked manager Frank Rijkaard to promote him. Since Ronaldinho already played on the left wing, Rijkaard moved Messi from his usual position onto the right flank, though initially against the player's wishes, allowing him to cut into the center of the pitch and shoot with his dominant left foot. Messi made his league debut during the next match on 16th of October, against Espanyol at Estadio Olímpico Luis Companys in Montjuic, coming on in the 82nd minute. At 17 years, 3 months, and 22 days old, he was at the time the youngest player to represent Barcelona in an official competition. As a substitute player, he played 244 minutes in 9 matches for the first team that season, including his debut in the UEFA Champions League against Shakhtar Donetsk. He scored his first senior goal on May 1, 2005, against Albacete, from an assist by Ronaldinho, becoming, at that time, the youngest ever scorer for the club. Barcelona, in their second season under Rijkaard, won the league for the first time in 6 years. On 24th of June, his 18th birthday, Messi signed his first contract as a senior team player. It made him a Barcelona player until 2010, 2 years less than his previous contract, but his buyout clause increased to €150 million. His breakthrough came 2 months later, on 24th of August, during the Joan Gamper Trophy, Barcelona's pre-season competition. A starter for the first time, he gave a well-received performance against Fabio Capello's Juventus, receiving an ovation from the Camp Nou. Capello sought to take Messi to Juventus on loan, but Inter Milan offered to pay his €150 million buyout clause and triple his wages. According to then-President Joan Laporta, it was the only time the club faced a real risk of losing Messi, but he ultimately decided to stay. On 16th of September, his contract was updated for the second time in 3 months and extended to 2014. Due to issues regarding his legal status in the Royal Spanish Football Federation, Messi missed the start of La Liga, but on 26th of September, he acquired Spanish citizenship and became eligible to play. Wearing the number 19 shirt, he gradually established himself as the first-choice right winger, forming an attacking trio with Ronaldinho and striker Samuel Eto'o. He was in the starting lineup in major matches like his first Clásico against rivals Real Madrid on 19th of November, as well as Barcelona's away victory over Chelsea in the last 16 round of the Champions League, which came on back of an intense period of rivalry between the clubs, leading a resentful Messi to state, "We would rather play Arsenal, Manchester United or anyone else than be on the pitch with Chelsea." After he had scored 8 goals in 25 games, including his first in the Champions League, in a 5-0 win over Panathinaikos on November 2, 2005, his season ended prematurely during the return leg against Chelsea on March 7, 2006, when he suffered a torn hamstring. Messi worked to regain fitness in time for the Champions League final, but on 17th of May, the day of the final, he was eventually ruled out. He was so disappointed that he did not celebrate his team's victory over Arsenal in Paris, something he later came to regret.